Welcome to MarcusG.tv. I am Chef Marcus Giuliano, and I'm a chef on a mission. Today's mission is nutrition. And, I know a lot of people that say, I love going to eat at Mexican restaurants because it's so healthy. It's the healthiest place I can find to eat is a Mexican restaurant. I love to eat healthy, and that's my whole premise of my restaurant, and that's why I don't have a fryer, and that's why I don't really use cream or butter and white flour and white sugar and corn syrup, because I want to serve and eat real food. So, and farm fresh food and a lot of farm to table food. So, but people just keep saying, oh, I go to Mexican restaurants because I can get such a healthy meal there. I know I can eat stuff there. Well, unless you're eating just the vegetarian rice and beans by themselves, there's not much healthy at a Mexican restaurant. My last trip to a recent local Mexican restaurant, I started analyzing the menu, and here's a rundown of my top concerns of most Mexican restaurants. Not all, but most Mexican restaurants, okay? The corn chips that you're served are typically made from genetically modified corn. That's because they're using cheap corn chips. And I've learned recently that the blue corn chips sometimes are just yellow corn that's dyed blue. Because blue corn they don't genetically modify blue corn because it's not a huge commercial crop. It's the other corn, the yellow corn, that they genetically modified. There's serious implications to eating genetically modified food. Now, on top of the corn chips, they're serving you soybean or some kind of either hydrogenated oil, something that's extracted with a hexane gas. It's not expeller press, it's not organic, it's loaded with chemicals, the oil. It's bad news. And then it's heated and you add the corn chips that are genetically modified. Terrible. Tortillas. Even if they say whole wheat tortillas, most whole wheat tortillas are made from white flour. And of course, they don't even say whole wheat, then they are white flour. White flour is a major detriment to your health. It's void of 90% of the fiber nutrients, maybe even more than 90% of the fiber nutrients that whole wheat would have. So don't get tricked by looking at the whole wheat term on a package of whole wheat tortillas or at a Mexican restaurant. Most likely it is a scam. As a chef and restaurateur for the last 20-25 years, I can barely find a real, non-chemical, organic, whole wheat tortilla. They're out there, but you have to really search for them. Most Mexican restaurants are not going to search for them or pay the extra money for them. So, and then on top of it, they usually put trans fats and corn syrup into wraps to make them more into the tortillas, to make them more pliable and make them sweeter so you crave them. When it gets to the protein portion of the Mexican restaurants, Mexican restaurants typically, Mexican restaurants are cheaper to begin with, and people go there because they're better values. But these better values come with consequences. Most of their proteins come from factory farms, like farm salmon, which has implications on my blog that I talk about. Mass-produced factory farm chicken, which is just a disgrace. Factory feedlot beef. And pork. 75% of pork never see daylight until the day of slaughter, and most of them, as up to 75% of them, have pneumonia the day of slaughter. But because we're going to eat pork carnitas or something, pork tacos, you don't think of all that, and it's just a disaster. Going to the seafood side, back to the seafood side, I did mention salmon. The shrimp is most likely farmed in Asia because that's where they can get the cheapest possible shrimp from, which has severe implications on our environment, on the workers, and our health. Loaded with hormones, antibiotics, and chemicals. Tilapia. Tilapia is a mainstay at Mexican restaurants. Most tilapia gets excessive amounts of methyl testosterone to turn the sex of the tilapia to males, because females do not convert the meat. Flesh, they're not as good, efficient converters, so they want to turn all the sex, so they load the feed up in the water with methyl testosterone. The runoff goes into the local villages. There's serious problems with the women who get pregnant in these local villages drinking water with methyl testosterone loaded in it, and you're eating the stuff that has methyl testosterone in it. It's not good for your hormones. There's serious implications. The cheese, it's all factory farm cheese loaded with tons and tons of systemic cells, which is basically pus. It's not a good scene, plus it's very fattening. And then when you get to the bar, margaritas are a mainstay, but they're loaded with corn syrup typically because they're using a very cheap margarita mixer, a sweet and sour mixer, and it's just really, really bad news. So those are my top problems with going to eat at a Mexican restaurant. Share your experience of how you eat healthy, or what you dislike about places that so-called say they're healthy. And leave your comments here. If you like this video, hit click, like, subscribe, share it. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. I'm a chef on a mission. ChefOnAmission.com. Thank you.